You're fired. Yeah, we all love seeing that email when they send you an email and they're like, yeah, cancel my listing agreement. And I think if we're all being real about it, we've gotten that email before. I remember back when I bought my brokerage with my partner, one of our listing agents, they were all pissed off. They were upset because they, they were working with this client. It was considered luxury for our marketplace, and it was a 400,000 plus listing. They took the listing, but the problem was they didn't set the right expectations. And I actually have. So we're going to be talking about expectations and how to make sure you can not only win a listing, but actually make sure that listing closes and not closes with another agent, right? Closes with you. That's what we're going to be talking about today. I have senior conversion coach Ron Mazza. He's also my partner with ULM Realty. Ben, a very dynamic gentleman on the phone with us here today to kind of talk through this issue of setting expectations. And Ron, thanks for joining us today.
Oh, thanks for inviting me.
Awesome. So, basically, Ron, why does this happen? Where does the mistake start when the listing agreements gets canceled and then they want to renew with another agent instead of you, or instead of the original agent? Where does this problem start?
Well, it actually starts at the interview when they sit down to list the property because they don't set the expectation.
Okay.
I mean, let's face it. Ask how many agents put price reductions in their marketing plan. I mean, that's you.
Right.
I
hope you, if you're watching this, I hope you just caught what he just said. Do you, how many agents, as part of your marketing plan, when you're showing them your marketing plan, actually put price reductions on the marketing calendar, right? So that's good. That's good, Ron. How often would you recommend that being in the calendar?
Every 3 weeks.
Right.
In this market, every 3 weeks, and I don't care if it's a $50,000 listing or a $500,000 listing. And the other thing they do is they set themselves up for failure because they say, I'm going to price it at. Instead of the simple word said, well, we'll start it here. Because MB, the expectation is it might not sell at that price.
Wow, that's strong. So say that one more time.
When you're talking to a seller and you actually start to talk pricing with them,
yep.
A lot of agents make a mistake. They go, I want to price it at this number.
Yep.
Well, you're making them expect you to get that number. You're telling them that's what I'm going to get. But when you say, I want to start it here,
yeah,
that immediately shows it could go either way. And 9 times out of 10, it may go the wrong way, which is lower, but you're starting it because, let's face it, Isaiah, we don't know what the price is going to sell for. The only person knows is the buyer that writes the offer, and they accept it.
Right. So I love that language. Hey, look, so if I'm talking to John or Sue or whoever, hey, Sue, we're going to start it at this price and then kind of see how it goes every 3 weeks. Is kind of the lingo you're talking about, right? Versus saying we're going to price it, right, we're going to price it at this. Big psychological difference.
Yeah. Huge.
Yeah.
And then, you're talking about setting expectations. Well, then the seller obviously is going to expect that if it doesn't sell at the price you started it at, it's got to start at another price. It's got to go down.
Right. And actually, I remember the first time that this actually happened to one of the listing agents that I was working with our brokerage before you and I partnered. I remember I set up the appointment for the homeowner. I was very pumped up about it because I knew it was a real strong opportunity. Listing agent went out. There was an issue with it because he couldn't move it, but they also wouldn't price drop it. Contract expires, and then he finds he's like, so this agent's following this property, Ron, and then probably 2 months later, he sees that it sold for the exact price that he originally recommended that they go with. But so obviously there was something along those lines where he wasn't either following up right or managing expectations. But I mean, what a huge loss in commissions over something that is not all the time, but a lot of time completely in our control, right? As rainmakers.
Well, and that could be just a lucky shot in the dark, because what happened was once he got the listing, a buyer appeared that never saw the house and was willing to pay the number.
Right.
But,
That's true.
a lot of it, probably a lot of buyers walked away who, if it was lower and priced where they felt right, they might have bought it.
They might have bought it, right? That's right. That's right. But I also remember asking him, well, how many times have you followed up with this person along the way before you asked them for the price drop? How many times did you talk to him in between? And what do you think the answer? What do you think the answer was?
Not yet.
Not, yeah, right.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Ron, tell me how you would react to somebody if somebody called you up, or if somebody listed your house, they didn't talk to you for a month, and then they call you and say, "Hey, I think we need to do a price drop." How would you react, honestly?
I would say, who is this? who are you?
You're still alive?
Who are you?
Oh man.
Oh boy, not good.
Yeah.
Not good. Again, in your marketing plan, Isaiah, you got it. I'm going to call you, text you, instant message you, however you want me to communicate at least once a week. Good or bad, even if I just want to call and say, hey, how you doing?
Right.
You know, you got, and then when you're going to ask for the price reduction, you know, they know you're coming. It's a discussion.
Right.
Why am I doing it? New net sheet, and go from there.
Yeah, that's so strong. It's so strong. So what do you do if somebody, you know, because you're going to have certain people that they're going to overprice their home, right? And what do you recommend, especially like, you know, for this particular conversation, we're really honing in on geofarming and geofarming strategies, and so obviously you don't want to be taking on overpriced listings in a farming that's not going to sell in an area that you're trying to farm, right? So the whole neighborhood sees it didn't sell. So what do you do in the case that they're overpriced? You know, you're concerned about it. There's some other concerns. You're in you're in an area you're trying to farm. What do you do in that case?
Well, the thing is that to take any overpriced listing that you really feel in your gut that it's not going to sell, you're just wasting your time. You're wasting your money. Not only that is you're making a statement out there. You're saying, oh, I take overpriced listings, or, you know, I'll take anything listed. I'll throw it up in the air and see if it sticks. You know, I mean, the bottom line is you don't list property, you sell property.
Right.
It's not that you've got to tell these people, I'm not in business to get a portfolio full of listings I can't sell.
Right.
I want to sell your property for the highest possible price. I got to find out what the market is going to bear, and there's only one way I can do that. Based on my strategy, my statistics, based on my marketing plan, I'm going to find out in a hurry if this is priced right. And, you know, we have so many resources that we can go and price it.
Right.
Yes, there's times when it's hard.
Right.
But then again, you know, you got to look at it in 10 different ways. But the bottom line is, what's the average time on the market? What's the average sell price? Where are you in there? And bottom line is, okay, I'm going to start it here. I got a good feeling about it. The seller's got a good feeling about it.
Right.
But we have to follow the trend of the market. If we're not getting showings, we're not seeing offers, or if we're seeing offers and they're lower, hello, that's telling you something loud and clear.
Right.
You need to get more realistic.
Yeah, that's strong. That's really, really strong. So just you know, wrapping up here, what are the takeaways? If you had to give 3 action steps that an agent could take to make sure that they never end up losing a listing to another agent and then having it sell the second time around, if you could just think of 3 things, that needed to go right, what would they be?
Number 1, when you're doing your presentation, watch how you talk to your clients. Say things that don't set precedences. It's got to leave something a little vague, like start it here type thing. Make sure you got a real strong marketing plan, and in that marketing plan, you do have price reductions every 3 weeks or so based on your situation, length of listing, or whatever the case may be. And then always, always, always communicate with your clients on a regular basis, good or bad. Let them know what's going on. Let them know what feedback you're getting on showing. And if you're not getting the feedback from people who are showing it, show it up at their office and say, how come you didn't call me back? You know?
Yeah.
So bottom line is, you know, you just got to make sure that seller has all the information that they need so they can you can help them make the decisions they need to make if it's a price reduction.
That's good. That's awesome. So this is a part of a series we're doing here, guys. We're talking about geofarming secrets, and it's one thing that if you're going to be farming in an area, especially, you're going to run across expired listings. You're going to run across for sale by owners when you're farming. It's just going to happen, and you're also going to run across some homes that when you want to take the listing, but you want to make sure that you're not taking overpriced listings that you can't sell, because that ruins your credibility in the neighborhood, right? So, especially if you're spending a lot of money in that neighborhood, you got to be very careful. And Ron, I want to thank you for that advice, but it just simply put, if I'm hearing you right, Ron, it all goes back to expectations and watching the language that you're using and making sure that the price drops are in your marketing plan so they know what to expect.
Absolutely.
And if you do,
Absolutely.
yeah, and if you want to learn more about how to generate more listings and more importantly how to get them closed, we put together an online portal here where you can get some free postcards. These are 24 postcards derived around a principle I call the 3S systems, where you can show it's guaranteed to produce results if you stick with it over the long haul. Okay, it can't be something short term, but you stick with this postcard strategy, you'll get a lot of leads from it. You get a lot of closings from it, because the design behind the postcards are education. So it's all education based, and then in between the two postcards a month, you got marketing videos going out through emails. And then on top of that, you have the 3S principle being applied, where you go live on Facebook. You also do a postcard, and you send that postcard out where you're actually showing off a listing that you just sold. You're talking about the secrets behind how you got it sold, and then you end with a call to action, a specialized service you have, like a unique value proposition. Like, so one of the ones that we use for our brokerage is a communication guarantee, right? So especially with expired listings, because the number one problem in our industry is communication. Statistically, I almost fell out of my chair. So that's the number one. That's the number one problem statistically. So make sure you keep that in mind. And you can go to ulmgeofarmingsecrets.com. It's ulmgeofarmingsecrets.com, and I'm going to give you those free postcards and those videos just for tuning in here today. And whether you're watching this on my podcast or on our YouTube channel, whatever it may be, go to www.ulmgeofarmingsecrets.com. Like us, share us, and stay tuned. I go live every day at 1 o'clock, so you can. I will actually see you on our next part of How to Land More Listings, our next series tomorrow at 1. Have an awesome day, everybody.